last thing you saw was
There's something wrong.
I'm having some issues. Here's what's going on. Currently, we're set to bypass. And in bypass mode, things work fine. Things don't work the way I want, but things work fine. The well kicks on. In fact, I'll let you hear that right now. I'm gonna go over here. I've got the well turned off and it's dropped down a little bit. So when it turn on, you'll hear the well turn on. Okay, hear a click. Well's running. There it goes. I'm gonna flip it off. Now, here's the problem. In inverter mode, for whatever reason, this thing doesn't seem to actually be able to power the well. I'm going to flip over to inverter. Now we can see my stats right here. I've got 288 watts. That seems to always be coming from the battery. I think that almost seems like that is the just like the standby idle consumption, which is crazy high. I don't know. We'll have to dig into that, but it's been consistent. So the problem that I've had is that the well pump would go like that. Did you hear that? It freaked out and reset the inverter. And the power went out. This over here goes and then reset. It's like it's not powerful enough to run this 5-horse well pump. Bummer, man. So that's the problem I'm having. I'm going to go back to bypass. I'm going to turn on the well pump. Clicks properly. Reset this. And I should be seeing about 5,000 watts. So I have to keep this thing in bypass until I can figure out why that's not working. I might need a soft start. I might need PV connected. I'm not entirely sure.
Now, if you stayed to the end of the last video, you'll know that at the end of one of my live streams every Thursday night with Rodney Hunt and Adam DeLay, Rodney brought up the fact that one of these LG batteries is only capable of 7,000 watts and about 11,000 continuous. So it was slightly over what the max draw was for this well pump. So I went ahead and got another battery, and now we're going to install it and see if this fixes the problem. Just got the second battery, and it's going to go right here next to this one. So right here, I'm going to need to build out this wall. It's going to go over a little bit farther. I'm going to put another concrete pad in, and then it's going to adequately supply all the power that we need to fully run the Solis so that we can fully run the well pump, because it's not working on one battery, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. We got another one, and this thing is going to be awesome when it's done. I'm not going to show you how to install the battery because it's exactly the same as installing the first one. And so if you want to see that video, it's on East Texas Homestead, and I'll link to it right here. Now that I've got this second battery, I've got to figure out how to get the wires into here, but they have to be combined so that these number 8s are actually number 6s going in here. That's fun. So what I've decided to do is take this box here and insert it on the wall somewhere. I got to figure out where exactly I want to do that. And we will take these lines here, bring them into this box. These lines, bring them into this box, and then take it out and go into this box. Kind of a pain. It'd be great if I had a wire trough, but I don't. So this is where we're at. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but I just need to figure out the best way to do it. So I'm going to shut off this battery. Definitely going to have some sort of an error, and that's fine. Got the error here. This should turn off. This guy needs to be in the off position if it's not already. It is already off. That's good. And I need to remove the plate on this one. I also need to not get them confused. So, because they've got serial numbers on them, that I don't want to change up. So I'm just going to go there. I'm going to do a little organizing here. I'm going to put the screws back here before I knock them off. Did I just lose one? I probably just lost one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's another one I just lost. Forgot the back of this thing is open, so that probably wasn't the best move. Oh well. Okay, so we got that back there. We got it now. Now I need to remove this one. It's Phillips. 6 screws. This. And we're going to put it back here somewhere. That out of the way. That out of the way. Now the only question is to try to figure out where best to connect everything. I don't want to run these unnecessarily far just to run it back the other direction. We'll have this one running the farthest. So this should probably go somewhere around here. Now if you're wondering what's in here, it's literally just an empty box with some gaskets. So hopefully it's going to be big enough. I'm going to leave these guys in here, but I need to remove them from here so I can take this out. I don't know if there's going to be any voltage on here. I guess I could check it. Let's do that first. I suppose it's possible that the inverter is pushing voltage onto it, and it's also possible that the battery is still sending some voltage, but either way, we don't have any, so that's good. That's DC voltage. Let's change over to AC voltage. 240. So, stuff's hot in here. We are in bypass mode. Probably wouldn't hurt to turn this off. However, I want to make sure the well keeps running because the family's home doing family things. So for now, I'm going to simply pull these out. I'm going to lift up on this all the way, and I'm going to pull it out. First, I'm going to get that one there. And I don't want to touch these two together, although I'm sure they would be just fine doing so. Positive and negative. Let's check voltage. I don't know why I keep putting things away. And we shouldn't have any voltage on this at all. Make sure we change over to DC. That's always important, and sometimes it messes people up. No voltage. Now I'm going to come over here and take this guy. Remove that. Just want to be careful I don't touch things that don't need to be touched. Going to remove this nut. That was in the wrong size anyway. So we're going to be changing that. So we've got the 3/4 inch gland that needs to go in here, but as you can see, it's too big. This is the one for the batteries. It's going to be coming from over here. So we've got these little spacers, the 1 inch to 3/4 inch, and it goes, just sits right in there. It's quite nice. So the only thing is I'm not sure if you're technically supposed to use 1 or 2 of these. I'm going to opt to use 2 because as you see here, as I put it down here, I don't like the way that can still sloppily move around. So I'm going to drop this one on top like this so that it can fit in here just nice. And then I'm also going to take the gasket and put it right here. This gasket came off of the white one that came off. So I'm going to stick that in right there, and that's going to seal that up a bit. And then I'm going to drop this one on top of that. Is this overkill? Probably. I don't know. It might be code. It might be overkill. I don't know. And then I'm going to try to not cross thread this one like I did the last one. I'm going to back it off just a hair and then get it on there. And I'm going to start screwing this down. And that, gentlemen, is much, much nicer than what I had. So you can still tighten it up just a hair, but that's really good. I like it. So the next thing that I did not film that you can see here, I've got my positive, negative, and ground. That is going down this guy here. It's going behind the battery. It's coming up into here, coming out as positive, negative, and ground. You'll also notice I have my Ethernet cable running through the same conduit. This is shielded cable, so it should be just fine. If not, I'll go back and I will put on this guy here and bring it around and land it here. I just don't want to waste 6 feet of this conduit if I don't have to. So what I've done is I've run the Cat 5. I keep saying Cat 5. Is this Cat 5? I don't know. Whatever it is. The Ethernet cable, I've run it up here and I've looped it. And then I'm actually going to... and then I've got it coming back down into here. So I'm going to take this. I know we don't have a lot of light in here. I'm going to pull this through this loop. So it is just super dark back here. But it's right there. And it's coming into this cabinet. And it is going to tie in right here. So I'm actually going to splice in to that. So it's going to go out of battery 1 into this box, into battery 2, then it's going to go back out through the correct conduit into the inverter, at which point it connects in as we've already done. That's my goal. If none of that works, once we get it set up, then I'll consider running it back through there. We'll do some tests and figure it out, but for now that's what we're doing. Back to this guy, we've got these 3. When we've got these 3, we're going to start connecting the positives with the positives, the negatives with the negatives, and the grounds with the grounds. And then what we're going to do is connect in, and these are 8 gauge. Then we're going to take a 6 gauge out of here and into here. So I'm going to go ahead and run that conduit. I'm going to run the 6 gauge, and then we'll come back and connect them all together. So now you can see I've got my 6 gauge. It's run. It's coming up over here, significantly thicker. So this is just going to allow the current that runs from both of these batteries to be able to enter into this and be able to pull the continuous 11,000 watts with the spike over 20,000 watts. So the first thing is always to connect the ground here. So we're going to go back with the ground where we had it. And of course there's not a whole lot of space in here, but we're going to go right in there like that. Reach in here. I've got my insulated screwdriver. And you'll notice I don't have ferrules on here. I'm out of ferrules at this size at this point. Had it in, then I knocked it out. I wanted to make sure I wasn't clamping down on the insulation. There we are. We got it tight. I'm actually going to take my torque wrench. I'm going to make sure we are torqued down properly. Okay. Ground is connected. So now we need to connect all these grounds. I don't want to use a giant wire nut. I feel like that would be, probably ridiculous. So what we're going to do is make sure we've got all the grounds over to one side. We're going to use this multi-wire tap. I don't know what we call this. I've always called it a Polaris connector. What does it say here? It doesn't. Whatever it is. It's called something. we're going to put this in here. And the way that it works is each of these got the little hex Allen right there. And then, let's see, I'm going to do this. Do I do it like this or do I do it like this? I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to come in from this side. This one in particular can actually pass through. We're not going to be passing it through. However, we might want to see what it's doing on this side. So with that, let's start with the number 6. You can see it's in here. I'm going to go ahead and start cranking this down. And you can see I've also labeled this inverter, or I. So I've got battery 1, battery 2, and I. I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, it's definitely not necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. And get that nice and snug. I'm going to back it off a little bit and then hit it again. Okay. Tug test. That ain't going nowhere. Now, each of these have continuity with the other. So it's like a continuous like bus bar in here, so to speak. All right, so then we've got battery 2, which is this one. And you know what? I think I'm gonna get rid of this ferrule. Get rid of that. And I'm actually gonna cut this way back. You know, I probably should have done each of these a little bit longer. I can kind of start to feel it there. All right. And then this will allow for that. Yeah, you can see it there coming all the way through. And it's coming down. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Okay. Start cranking on it. I'm sure there is a proper torque for this. I'm just going tight. If you go to like an Elliott Supply, you're going to get the Polaris brand. You can't find these this size with 3 at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. You can find them with 2, but that doesn't really help. I mean, I suppose you could make it work. There we are. All right, but I got these on Amazon, and of course I will put a link below if anyone's interested, for easy access and to help a brother out. So it helps you, it helps me. It's all good. Just gotta cut that a little more. Okay. Finally. These are actually made so that you can tap into a wire without actually even cutting the wire, or without, yeah. So you could tap into like the middle of a wire. I can't think of a situation where you would need to do that, but you could. Back off, hit it again. You can always get a little bit more out of it if you back it off a little bit. All right. So that's connected, which is great. Now we're going to put the caps on here and here. I might go ahead and fold it up. Oh, cap popped off. These things are notorious for the caps just being like, I'm done. Just leaving you. Okay, so that's in there like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the positives and with the negatives. All right, so there we go. That's it. So we've got our L1, or not L1, that's AC. This is DC. We've got our positive, our negative, and our ground. I'm just going to tuck these away. And then we will be ready to close up this little box. Now we need to make the connections everywhere else. And I'm happy that that stuff fits in there. I was a bit worried once I hung this on the wall because it's kind of tiny. But before we do that, I also need to go ahead and connect this right here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So we've got our positive, battery positive, you can see that right there, and then battery negative. We've already done this once, but we're doing it again here. I've got to get this guy up under here. And before I do that, I'm going to push this down and get it into as well. I'm going to go through the filter here. All right. So, got that. I'm going to go up in here. I've got my lever pulled up. And push it down. Tug test. It's in place. Oh, goodness. Didn't want to do that. Just hoping to have not. This one up and down. Tug test. And they're in place. So we're good with that. We're good with that. We're good with that. The next thing I need to do is come over here. We've got positive. And actually we're going to connect the ground first, as is best practice. Ground is in the middle. Just shoving it in there, pulling on it. It's not coming out. Then we got positive. Shove it in there. Tug test. Not coming out. Negative. Tug test. Ain't coming out. Last thing I have to do is connect the communications to both of these, and then we can turn everything on. And so I've got the ferrules ready. Crimped one of them a little bit short, but that's okay. The rest will be fine. So we're going to start off like we did last time. Going to push this in. We're going to go brown, brown stripe, orange, orange stripe. And that goes into the enable 12 volts, enable ground, RS45A plus and RS45B minus. Tug on them all, make sure they're not coming out. And they're not. So this is going to become our battery 1. That was previously battery 1. This is now going to be battery 1. Which means this needs to be down, down, and this needs to be up, up. The other battery, we're going to put it as the secondary, and it's going to be up, down, and the comms resistor is going to be turned off. But for now, this is what we've got it set to. Down, down, and up, up. Here we've got battery 2, which was previously battery 1. We're going to go ahead and turn these off, and we're going to turn this down. Now I'm going to have to pull these guys out, and I'm going to splice these back into it. So I need to go ahead and cut off the blue and the green. And get these. One handy thing, you can always hold on to these guys whenever you're doing this. Just hold on to that sleeve. And then you can twist it like this, and it doesn't make that big of a difference when you're just doing a couple of them, but when you're doing a ton of them, it is a real finger saver. So just there's that. All right, so I need to go ahead and pull these guys out, and then we're going to splice or cut all of them back, splice into them. So I'm going to take my probe here. I'm going to go in there, pull that out, pull that out. And of course we got to remember the order, but we can look at the other side if we need to. It's going to be brown, brown stripe, orange, orange stripe. Cut all of these back. Okay, finishing up this side. Then what we're going to do is move on to stripping the other wire that's coming from this one here. That's coming from the other battery. And then we have to combine those guys. You can hear the well pump kicking off. I'm really looking forward to and hoping that here in the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be running the well pump from these batteries, which will be the first time we've been able to do so. I grabbed some ferrules. So we got to crimp together the browns. And I think I'm going to actually twist these together right here. Cool. So then I've got a little bit left over right there. I'm going to nip that off. Okay. So that's brown. Now we'll do brown stripe. So this is what we're left with. Brown, brown stripe, orange, orange stripe. And we're going to put them back in here. Let's start off with brown. Push in on it. And this is going into enable 12 volts. Brown. Brown stripe. Orange. Sorry, you can't really see this, but hopefully it'll be pretty obvious what I'm doing. Orange and orange stripe. Just make sure you get them in there all the way. I think that one didn't want to go in all the way, so I'm gonna... Nice. The thing for us to do is take the supplied zip ties, and we're gonna actually tidy up this just a bit. So we've got these two, they're gonna go back over here, and I think I'm gonna slide this on here first. Come through with it. Is this the direction it goes? Yeah. And then wow, it's dark back here. Get that in there. Pull it tight. There we go. Keep it out of the way. I should have, man, I don't know. I don't know what I should have done. Nonetheless, that's that. Now let's do the same thing for this one. We're just bundling up our kinds the way that they're supposed to be. So this one you can see a little bit better. Get that in there, and we're gonna bundle it up. Yep, just like that. And I'm gonna snip off the end of this. Cool. I'm gonna double check on this section, and then we should be good to go. I guess I need to flip that battery on and connect it to the software. So right here we've got an actual illustration of what we just did. You see we've got the inverter, and it goes to battery pack 2, the secondary pack, and that's where it's daisy chained together, and then it goes out of there and it goes into pack number 1, the primary battery. Primary battery, we look over here, primary battery is going to have the inverter, whatever it is, these dip switches here in section B turned on, and this one is going to have those in section B turned off. So you're going to need to go back to your enblock manager, same one we've already worked through. I need to turn this guy on. Alright, so that's going to be turned on. Enblock manager, you can try to log in. If you're like me and you can never get it to stinking log in, it's probably because you have a VPN enabled. Go over to Nord, and I'm going to disconnect for 5 minutes. Go back to enblock manager. Darn thing turns right on. It's great. I hate that about some of these programs. But anyway, so what we're going to do is go to battery, and we're going to do commissioning. Well pump kicked on again. All right, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to scan this guy on the side of the battery. I'm going to get my number. I'm going to save and proceed to the next. Next thing I'm going to do is choose my inverter. It's going to be Solis. Okay, got that. Solis, the inverter model. It's the 11. Yep, got that. Cool. Oh, you got to actually select it. Okay. And then save and proceed to the next step. So it's going to take us to Wi-Fi. What we're looking right here is to go, okay, with this one, we're going to have the RMD MAC address plus 1234. That's going to be our Wi-Fi password. So I can see that I've got this guy right here. I'm going to look up here, and then I'm actually going to type in the number after the RESU underscore. So I'm going to start typing that in. And it's also the same thing that's on the MAC address upside down right here. So we're going to go. Okay, now I've got the password, or I've got the MAC address in. Now I'm going to do 1234 and hit join. Hopefully I did it right, and it looks like I did. So now we're there. I'm going to go back to enblock manager. And then I'm going to hit this button down here, connect the battery, and proceed to the next steps. Okay, you must update each firmware. All right, great. So we'll start. Let's go ahead and hit this. I'm going to do update, and we're going to wait a bit. Oh yeah, so I forgot. We have some deal like this. It's like the battery's not connected. Turn on Wi-Fi and connect the battery again. So I think what happens is the battery restarts, and it switches back over to my other Wi-Fi. So we got to do that. Come back over, and it should finish it up. Okay, that one's done. Let's do one more. 20 minutes. Oh, Lord, I hope not. We'll be back in a bit. So far, it seems like we're kind of making some progress. We'll see. All right, so I think I saw 70% done on this. While that's being done, I'm going to, 75. I'm just wrapping up some loose ends here. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy off and put back on the plugs that came with it. I'm so ready to get this mess of a table put back together. Oops, what I was trying to do is put this on here. Okay. Since I'm not using that plug right now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Since I'm not using the hole, rather. I've already buttoned this guy back up. Got the case back on here, or the cover, rather. I don't believe I'm going to need to be back in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one on as well. So, one thing is I could go ahead and zip tie that. I don't think I need to, though. It's not going anywhere. So let's grab all of these, see if I can do this without throwing them in the dirt. Oh my gosh, where are we at? Let's watch. Oh, it's finishing. Nice. Then it's going to disconnect. Then I got to get back on the right Wi-Fi. What do I do here? The battery's not connected. Connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay. I'm going to let the battery Wi-Fi come back up for a second. Give it a little bit of time. And while it's doing that, of course, I'll just wrap up what I'm doing here. Let's go back over here. Get off of the Mini. Let's get onto this guy. Wait a second. And it's updated. Cool. All right. So we're done with that process. So save and proceed to the next step. Now I need to enter the password for my existing Wi-Fi. I'm going to sit down for all this. Okay. ETH Mini. The password is... Now, this is super deceiving. You put the password in, and then it says save and proceed to the next step. And if you press that button, you're not going to get things taken care of right, because that is just a really bad user interface. First thing you need to do is hit connect. And now it's connected. I struggled so hard with this because of a really bad UI. So we've got that. Next thing we're going to do is select the time zone, Central Standard Time. Okay. Configuration is in parallel. All right. Save and proceed to the next step. Okay. Cool. So, would you like to start commissioning the second battery? If you cancel, you will be taken to the system registration page. Why isn't it yes or no? Just yes or no. I think cancel. There's no internet connection. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Let's go battery status. The battery is not connected. Turn on Wi-Fi. Shouldn't that battery be connected to my Wi-Fi? There is a battery that was installed previously. Are you sure you want to continue? New installation, continue. This user interface, I have to say, it kind of sucks. So I'm going to turn this one off here. Okay, that one's going off. And I'm going to turn this one on because this one was previously set so that it was not in parallel, but rather a single unit. I'm going to wait for that one to turn all the way down. Well, the breaker's off, so we shouldn't have any issues here. It's actually the Wellhouse battery, right? I accidentally renamed it. Because of a bad interface, I renamed the battery Wellhouse battery, or the battery Wi-Fi Wellhouse battery. Didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to connect to that. Commissioning. It's not a new installation. I want to continue. Am I not? I'm already connected. Connect. Okay, it's already updated. Save and proceed. I've already done this. Okay, central, and it's in parallel. Perfect. Perfect. The commissioning will end. Would you like to disconnect? Would you like to disconnect the battery and register the system? Yes. Of course, of course. Okay. All right, fine. A commissioning error has occurred. The inverter, check the inverter setting, dip switch setting, and communication cable. Turn off the power to the inverter and battery and battery in that order. Check whether the polarity terminals of the power lines are connected in the opposite direction. Well, it's not even positive. Yeah, it should be fine. So I think what needs to happen is I need to turn on both inverters. All right, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn this one on. We're probably about to break things. I don't even know. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this on. Okay. I'm going to give it a second. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn this on. They seem to both be happy. So, we're going to do this for a second just so we can make sure we see all these lights appropriately. It's like I need to register this one to this account. This seems frustrating. I'm curious if we're getting voltage over here. Volts. DC volts. $400 That's crazy. Like, that's freaking crazy to me. Okay. 400 volts. Okay. Oh, because it never got me through the registering process. Parallel. The current, oh, I see. This is the current name. And that's where I changed it to the other. Reboot. I'm going to hit save. Would you like to disconnect the battery and register? Yes. Yes. Okay. But that doesn't, like, the battery settings have changed. Okay. Yeah. Duh. Yes. The configuration has been changed from single to parallel. Commissioning the second battery must begin accordingly. I guess we have to do the whole frickin' thing 2 times in a row. Okay, so we're going to go back out over here. We're going to go to commissioning. Commission. New installation. We're doing this. Save and proceed. Inverter. Solis. Selected. Okay. Model. That one. Got it. Now, we're going to save and proceed. We're already connected. We're going to go here. We've already done the updates. We're going here. We're already connected. We're already set the time to parallel. Yes. Okay, got it. Okay. Would you like to start commissioning a second battery? Okay. This one. Boom. Got it. Save and proceed. Inverter brand. Don't know why you have to do this again. That's stupid. Solis. Boom. Done. Inverter model. That one. Save. Now, we're going to go connect over here. It's a wellhouse battery. Okay. We're connected. Incorrect password for wellhouse battery. Why? Wellhouse battery. Oh my gosh. Let's go to Wi-Fi settings. Wellhouse battery. All right, great. We're connected. We're going to go back over. We're connected. Done. Updates have been completed. We're going to save. It's already connected. Time zone's correct. Parallel. Perfect. Okay, nice. Everything looks good. Okay. The commissioning will end. Would you like to disconnect the battery and register the system? Yes. There are no internet connections. Of course there's not. ETH Mini. Now there is an internet connection. Okay. Yes. The data duplicates the battery information already registered in the system. Please check the battery information. I don't want to. I want, oh! So I spent hours and hours trying to figure all of this out. I did not record all of it. I don't even remember what I did, but at some point I was able to somehow stumble upon the ability to allow me to register it. I think I might have had to do it on the browser or in the browser on the computer, but I cannot remember. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so I think I've got these guys both set up in the app. So this one should be set up as primary. This one should be set up as secondary. They should be registered together. This should be fine, although I'm realizing that I probably need to tell it how many batteries I have, because I don't think I've told it that yet. So I need to do that. I was still getting an error on this one, but not this one. So I shut it all down. I turned off the breaker here, so no power's coming in. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the well so it doesn't surprise us. And I'm going to restore power starting with the batteries. So I'm going to turn this one on first as primary. This is wrong. You do AC side and then DC side every time. And I'm curious what's going to happen up here. I guess I also need to turn on the AC or the DC disconnect right there. So should now be receiving DC power. That's on, right? Yeah, that's on. Although I'm not seeing anything up here, so that's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and also turn this one on. Now we're getting blinked. Solid green lights. That should be a good thing, but it takes a minute for the error to come on. However, I'm still shocked that I'm not getting anything here. Oh, you can hear the well is desperately running low and wants to be on. We're still in bypass mode. I'm not receiving anything. Batteries have not woken this thing up. That surprises me. I'm going to go ahead and give it some AC power. Okay, the lights came on in here. The power or the AC goes up into here, and now it goes over here. Now we can see this is awake. Okay. Interesting. We are in bypass, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let the well pump kick on. And we're actually seeing... Interesting. So we're seeing battery voltage, and I'm not seeing any errors. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Solis and see if we get anything. I'm happy to see that we still don't have any error messages here. It does not look like the data logger has connected back to Wi-Fi yet. Still searching for it. The well is running low because it's the water sprinkler's on. I will say the data logger is like 4 minutes behind, but it's still searching. And I'm going to pause this for an hour because it keeps causing problems. Okay, so this is good. We're seeing something here. I want to go to services, and I'm going to go, I think local. We're going to connect via Bluetooth. I'm going to connect to the inverter. I hate this kind of crap where it insists that it uses your location. I hate this crap. I hate it. Ask next time. We're going to go back to Solis. I'm going to collect on the inverter. I'm not even sure if that was super necessary. Okay, we're locally connected here. Setting, I want to go to battery settings, LG, and I want to say yeah, that's it. LG parallel, yes. That's it. LG parallel. Turn that on. Okay. I think that's all I needed to do there. Yes, I want to disconnect. I'm going to go back here. I want to look here. Now, we're going to flip this to the off, and then we're going to flip it to inverter. So we're going to go off. I'm going to flip it to inverter. It should take a minute, and then the power should be restored. Then once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and flip on the well pump. And as you've seen many times before, it goes, the transistors or whatever can't connect fully because it doesn't have enough voltage. I'm hoping this isn't going to be the case this time. We can see we've got the batteries are still showing good. I don't know why we see up here orange. I don't know what that means. It still shows Wi-Fi's flashing. We're in inverter. I feel like it should have already given us power. I'm going to give it a couple minutes here just to see what it does. What? How long did that take? Like 4 minutes? Okay. Okay. I was about to give up. Like I was seriously like giving up. So this is going to be the absolute moment of truth. Did adding the second battery fix the problem of this inverter not being able to power the well? This is what it's all come down to. And I'm kind of excited. I'm also kind of terrified. Here we go. It doesn't sound good. What happened? What happened? Dang it. Dang it. Bypass. That's what it's supposed to sound like. Dang it. I'm going to flip this on so we can get a maximum amperage to see what the initial inrush is for the well pump. 59.2. All right. And continuous. 25. 59.2 with continuous 25. That's on L2. L1 actually has 27, but that's because there's some lights on this and the Starlink Mini. So if we look at that, we'll take 59 amps times 240. We're looking at 14,000 watts. Each of these are supposed to be able to put out 7,000 watts continuous. This is supposed to have a 20,000 watt for 30-second, I believe, start. And then the 25 times 240, 6,000 watts continuous. This can do 11,000 watts continuous. These can each do 7,000 watts continuous apiece. I don't know what to do. Okay, I flipped back over to Inverter, and I'm waiting for the Wi-Fi to come back up. And in the meantime, of course, it's showing that it's sending 80 watts to the grid. But I want to know what the fault is. I want to know what it thinks it just struggled with. Under voltage, I don't think that's it. I'm going to go to Services, Local Debug, Bluetooth. I'm not giving it location access, so I hit that, I go back, and then I go here. Loading. It's turned off. Info. Alarms. Emergency alarm. Okay. UNV Backup. Code 1072. Emergency alarm. Check if the backup voltage is abnormal. Reboot the system to confirm if the fault persists. On paper, this thing is a beast. My 6000 XP, a single 6000 XP can run this well pump. This is an 11.4 kilowatt generator with peak of almost double that for 10 seconds, and it's incapable. So I right now I'm in an awkward situation where I love what I've got here, but it doesn't work. So more videos to come on this. Let me know in the description or in the comments if you have any idea what's going on, if you can help out in the situation. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get a soft start on here, and then I'm also going to have to put some solar on the roof, which I don't hate that idea. It's just not part of my plan. I was hoping this would work the way it is. Stinking awesome inverter from what I've seen. Just not capable of heavy inductive loads. This is the start of the next video, and it was shot a long time ago, just like the one you just watched. But a lot has happened. I've been going back and forth with support. There's a lot to go on here, and I will be pulling it out in the next couple of videos. If you want to support my channel, I've got links and discounts for you in the description for lots of stuff. So check that out, and we will see you on this video right here.